everyone, and welcome back. This is day number 6. Yes, it's day number 6 of the ACS Read-a-thon, American Cancer Society. I'm doing a blind read of The Eyes in the Impossible by Dave Eggers. I have no idea what is about to happen next, so surprise being mutual. All right, so today I'm going to do chapters 10 and 11 because they're both pretty short. And yeah, remember, Johannes just got his freedom and he reported to the bisons, and they're just glad that he was back safe and sound. And he spent the night running through the park, just celebrating his freedom, which I love that for him. All right. Always get something in the eye here, right at this moment. All right. Chapter 10. I woke up late after the sun had risen. It was the longest I'd slept in maybe 900 years. As I shook free of the heavy cloak of sleep, scenes from my brief captivity flashed through my mind, and I shuddered with revulsion. I had been on a leash. Just yesterday. I ran to a nearby meadow to take in the sun. The sun only wants you to bask. That is truly all she wants. It pleases her to no end. And in the meadow, with my eyes to the sun, it seemed so obvious. The bison needed to be free. Instantly, it was so inevitable, so necessary. Freya and Samuel Meredith should be free. They must be free. Over the years, I wondered if they wanted to be free like I was free, but because they never themselves mentioned it, or the notion did not much occupy my mind. But now, having been kept myself, having been leashed, controlled, held captive, and knowing the abandon I felt as a free again dog, I wanted the same for them. I don't know why I hadn't seen it before. Yes, my captivity with Twisty had shown me what it meant to be kept, and had woken me to the glory of liberation. I decided I would make a plan for the bison and present it to them as a gift. I was happy thinking of this plan, and when I am in the midst of happy thinking, I need to run. I need to see Bertrand. Bertrand liked all that was bold and new, and I felt sure he would embrace this particular bold new notion. So I went to the waterfall where he liked to perch and did not find him there. I went to the garbage can, always overflowing, where he often scavenged for French fries and avocados, and did not find him there. I hope he would not be at his next favorite place. When I found him there, my heart clenched tight. He was among the archers. In the archery field, there is a long row of targets, each attached to a bale of hay. Aiming at these targets is a long row of human archers who use simple bows and complicated arrows and shoot at different times with varying results. Some of the archers are very good, and some are not good at all, which makes it very dangerous and dumb to do what Bertrand likes to do, which is to fly across the field between the archers and their targets as fast as he can, eyes closed. Please don't do it, I asked him. He was perched on a post on one side of the field, watching, assessing, grinning. There are only 6 today, he said, almost too easy. The field was indeed lightly populated by archers, but still, I did not understand then or ever why Bertrand, who otherwise was such a reasonable creature, would fly in harm's way like this, daring the arrows, fate itself, to strike him down. But why at all? I asked. He looked at me seriously. We've talked about this, he said. You have your running. You take pride in your speed and in your work as the eyes. This is like that. It is something I am good at, something that sends torrents of bliss through me. But when I run, there's no one shooting at me, I noted. Point taken, he said, but my soul wants this. To fly in front of flying arrows? Very slow arrows, shot by aimless aimers, he said. I ask you again not to do it, especially not right now. I have something to talk to you about. In a second, he said. Be right back. Ooh, I have a bad feeling about this. And he lifted himself from his perch, and with 3 mighty thumps of his wings, he was high above me, describing a wide arc that would give him the speed and trajectory he needed. I watched my friend soar high into the white ceiling of the sky till he briefly disappeared, and then followed his path with dread as he came barreling toward the field. He was a lightning bolt coming at me and the field with tremendous speed. I looked to the archers to see if they saw his approach, but none were aware. I scanned to see who among them was about to release an arrow, hoping the answer was none. But with dread I saw 3 with bows stretched and arrows ready. I thought I could bark to warn them about the gull coming toward them, but that would alter Bertrand's plan, would throw into all his considerations an unplanned factor, like a sudden gust of wind. If I altered the archer's motions or distracted Bertrand in any way, all of his calculations would be mucked up and his peril would be increased. So I made no sound. I did not look. I could not look. If anything were to ever happen to Bertrand, I did not want to see it. I decided this long ago. I closed my eyes and felt a rush of wind as he raced past me. Then I heard the release, twang, 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 of 1 arrow, 2, 3. I listened grimly for the sound of an arrow's flight interrupted, of an arrow striking wing and flesh, and heard nothing but thunk, thunk, whistle. The archers had hit their targets, and the 3rd had missed, her arrow landing in a thicket beyond the hay bales. And then Bertrand was beside me again, having flown happily back, panting and grinning on his perch on the post, very satisfied with himself. See that? He asked. I did not, I said. Now what did you want to talk about? He asked. And though I was upset with him, I told him my plan to free the bison. He thought it was a very fine plan, and I forgave him for his trespasses and madness, and went to the bison to tell them of this unimprovable scheme to set them free. I need to take a drink because that was a very stressful moment. Whew. That worried me for a moment. I thought I was going to have to put a trigger warning for Bertrand if he got hurt. All right, chapter 11. First, I circled their enclosure, acting casually so they did not suspect anything, though of course they did. There he is, Samuel said. What are you doing? Freya asked. Looking for something, I said. Come to me, she said, and I came to her. I wove between her legs, and she nuzzled me, and I did figure 8s again and again under her, and I was home. I'm sorry you went through what you did, she said. I told them I was okay. I told them that in the morning I still felt the pull on the leash, but that was when the sun burned the fog away and I felt myself liberated once more. You won't see those travelers again, Samuel said. You must forget them. I'm trying, I said. It helps to make plans. There we go. Is that what you're doing, sniffing around? I thought you were scheming, Freya said. I couldn't lie to them. That had been the arrangement from the first day. When they told me I was the eyes, I could not lie and would not lie. I am planning your escape, I said. Samuel's eyes opened wide and he smiled. You are, eh? I am, and I think I can do it. With the help of the birds and probably the raccoons, we can do it. I only need some time to make the plans. I just had the idea this morning. Freya seemed amused. Well, I'm intrigued, and I am grateful for your thoughtfulness. Would you like to be free? I asked. Samuel snorted. How do you mean free? My son, we are not on a leash, Freya noted. We have 3 entire acres to run. We come and go as we please. No one tells us what to do or when. I know, I said. I just meant, you have an enclosure too, Samuel said to me. The park. You stop when the park hits the stone human homes, do you not? I'd like to be free, Meredith said. Samuel gave her a hard look. Where would you go? You're 12,000 years old. I'd like to run, Meredith said. You never run. You can run here and you never run, Samuel said. If I had enough space, I'd run, Meredith said defiantly. Samuel snorted and Freya laughed gently. Meredith, I have known you all these thousands of years, Freya said, and never have you talked about running. If you had more room. This is just fascinating to hear all of a sudden. If I had enough room, I'd run, Meredith said again, and she loped slowly off to her corner of the enclosure. I'll get back to you soon, I said, when I have a plan. You do that, little one, Freya said with a sly smile. I knew she was doubtful. She didn't think I could do it. I didn't know if the assistants would feel the same way, but I suspected they would. If Freya was dubious, the others would be too. But I knew I could do this. It was complex, yes, and had never been done before, but my freedom from Twisty and his cohorts had been achieved with heroic interspecies cooperation, and that had been relatively improvisational. If we had time, we could pull off a rescue on a larger and more impressive scale. We could free the largest creatures of all. From then on, I was determined to find a way. I had it in my head that I could draw up a full plan, a phenomenal plan that was impossible to deny. I would convince all doubters. The first step to convincing any of them, though, was making the plan, and it wasn't just about getting them free. The fence that kept them was not so difficult to knock down or cut. No, that could be done with relative ease. The plan had to find a way for them to get free for good. They would have to get out of the park, and quickly. And go where? The park was surrounded by corridors of gray buildings, humans everywhere till the end of time. There was only one way they could really go, and that was the beach. I had a vision of Meredith running there. There was enough room, I was sure, for her to run and run, to gallop with abandon, and to help in the turning of the planet. But the beach was full of people, and was so close to the park's people and police people, and Meredith or any bison would be corralled and caught in no time, yes? They would have to go beyond the beach. In a sudden realization, I knew that they would have to go to the sea, onto the sea, and beyond the sea. I think this plan is going to get more complicated than we thought. But I admire his determination, that's for sure. All right, so we are on finished page 76 of this book. And people always ask me, well, how long is the book exactly? Well, almost 250 pages. So I say we're making a pretty good dent. We are here. The end is there. Okay? Okay. So, Roma, Riva, and Krishna, Auntie Heather loves you very much. I love the rest of you too. Take care. See you next time. And make sure you donate to the American Cancer Society. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.